has entered in my system that it's going to happen again.
Mm.
And that's that's very overwhelming to deal with.
Mm. Yeah, I
So
understand.
every time since last 2 years, there have been many symptoms which are not of an attack, but certain feelings, and then the system goes, "Oh, it's happening again," and the fear. You can watch it, but I end up calling the doctor emergency, and they do the blood test. Nothing is wrong. Go home.
Mm.
So it takes a lot of energy. The whole attention just sucks in
Mm.
there. Knowing everything what you speak about in the videos, I feel it, I understand it,
Mm.
but that moment, because it's really the survival point,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But
and
just
that's
honoring, just honoring that, just honoring that. No trying to change it or fix it or make it mean anything. Like you say, it's just what happens, and then there's some residue left over from it that kind of is there. So just honoring it.
mm,
Yes. In this moment here, seeing whatever there is of it, and just being present to it, not uh, trying to get rid of it, or not just gently present with it. Like when we sit together with it for a moment,
mm.
it's, just taking the opportunity, to meet it, really meet it. Okay, I see you. I see you trying to help me stay alive.
And I think there's a lot of I'm exploring that there's actually a lot of sadness. It's even more than I can imagine because of this stuff, which has brings
Mm.
everything up. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So around it, there's a lot of different possibilities just to explore. Yeah.
yeah,
So
absolutely, yeah.
so yeah. So it's just like you here, and somehow out of the blue, this heart attack happened. You weren't expecting it, and so, it happened. And so it's like, whoa. It's in a way it's a wake up. It's like, wow, I didn't even know that was going on in the body, and then suddenly this thing happened. So it's kind of, you could say that there's a shock,
Yeah.
but it opens the possibility of just, okay, so fear's here. What is fear? Just feeling with it. See, normally fear comes when it immediately goes into I'm afraid, or this, like there must
Yeah.
be something wrong with this fear here. But it's just whatever it is, let's just see what is fear. Let's be with it. There's the frequency, it's the vibration, it's
Mm.
resting with it. No right, no wrong, no good, no bad. It came by itself, it surely leaves by itself, it comes and goes, we know that. Not there all the time with the same intensity. It's just there. Let's see what it is. Somehow, in that heart attack, it feels like there was a losing of trust of your own body. Somehow, like losing trust in the reliability or the ongoingness of of the bodying activity.
Mm.
It's okay. Mm-hmm. And when you just have presence, just resting with that, those sensations, not trying to change it or understand it, fix it, there's nothing wrong, pain by itself. Just what is it? What is it? Yeah? Is it related to a thought? A story comes to mind. One time a, a woman came to one of my meetings, and she said to me that, her whole life she'd been terribly afraid of dying. And she spent thousands of dollars on therapy and on trying to deal with this. And she asked me, "Can you help?" And I said, "Let's see." So I'm sitting with her, and the question that came in my mind to ask her was, "Are you afraid of dying, or are you afraid of the thought of dying?"
Oh.
And she stopped for a moment, and she said, "Oh, I'm afraid. There's fear about the thought of dying." And when
Yeah.
she recognized that, when,
Yeah.
when she recognized that, she suddenly she started laughing, and and I asked her. I said, "Please be in touch and let me know." A few months later, I heard from her. She said, "Yeah, it's like it never came back. The fear of dying, because she saw it was a fear of a thought, but she didn't. It's like we never even went to explore. What is it that dies?"
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Like, every night we go to sleep. You say, "I go to sleep," but what is it that goes to sleep, actually? Is it the you that goes to sleep, or what is it? Because death, we don't really know. We don't have it. Some people have had the experience, maybe of dying. But what we have in common is that going to sleep, or sleep happening, you could say, in which the sense of I disappears, and it's never a problem. We're happy for it. Yeah?
Yeah.
So then the question is, what is it that goes to sleep, or what is it that dies? Thoughts come and go. I'm going to die. Yeah, sure. And that can seem scary, but it's like, and the body too. And like this stamping, some pain in the chest or something, and it's like, oh, what's happening? Do I need to take care or not take care? It's like, and that when it goes automatically into um, anxiety or fear, then it's hard to distinguish and see, make the distinction. Is it necessary to call the doctor?
Absolutely.
Because we
Absolutely.
feel like I'm not an expert. I don't know what's happening. This
Yeah.
could be.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to die unnecessarily. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the fine line. It's like you can. Since 2 days I've been waiting. There was tightness in the chest. I said, it will pass. So there's a fine line when to take off the phone and say, okay, this is happening,
Yeah.
or just let it go.
Yeah.
All this stuff goes, and
Yeah.
I can really relate to that woman. Of course, it's that thought, but I tell you, it's this whole survival thing. It's it's a
Yeah.
strong one.
Yeah, I understand. But in moment, in this moment, it's not there, right?
No,
Or,
no, it's
yeah,
not.
yeah. It's not. It's like, you see, it's just, like some, and these thoughts come, and then it's like, somehow, how do we know which thoughts are to listen to and which not to listen to? It's
Yes,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, absolutely. It's of course it's never the fear. well, not even the moment, because it's passing and it's not. But the identification with it goes so fast that you, by the time you are aware that you are in the whole scene in between.
Yeah, and you know, the fact of them is that most of us are not, you know, we're not that experienced with how to read the symptoms or whatever. You know, it's like we don't know. Is there something that needs paying attention to or not? And that
Yeah.
uncertainty it's
Yes.
interesting. You know, okay, there's uncertainty, but uncertainty and fear are different. It's just like, but that uncertainty can be a doorway into fear. Yeah, I don't
Mm,
know. So
yeah.
at this moment, if you got like 5 breaths left, so then you just it's
Mm,
like, okay, you got 5 breaths left. Then 4, 3, and then it's like, okay.
oh, keep going, because I really, it's like, okay, let's get over this, because I
Yeah.
can't allow this one to rule my life.
that is the funny thing. It's like, you know, it's like, is it possible to be in that, watching the last breaths coming with a sense of humor? But, you know, it was interesting when Papaji was coming to, when that expression of, you know, that bodying activity was changing its rhythm, or however you want to describe it. He said it was amazing. From his perspective, he wasn't concerned with dying at all, but the body was gasping for the next breath. It wanted the next breath. It was
Yeah.
amazing how this body wants to take the next breath.
Well,
But it
yeah,
was,
exactly.
it's interesting because for me, it's like, you know, something in my body when I start to fly, my blood pressure goes absolutely haywire. So last time on the beginning of my laying in bed in Western Australia, the beginning of my trip, and I can feel, wow, my blood pressure is really high. So I have this little machine I measure it, and it's like 20 over 110, and
Oh,
you know that's dangerous. Yeah, and it's like, you know, oh shit, you know, I want to get up now and go to the hospital. And, you know, I'll either wake up tomorrow or I won't. And I just went to sleep, and I was easy with it. Somehow it wasn't. I knew the two possibilities: I wake up or I don't, or I have a stroke or something. You know, but somehow it wasn't in trouble. It was like, okay, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So, you know, it's kind of like you lay down and when you're ready to sleep, and you love it when sleep comes, and sometimes it doesn't come right away, and you lay there for a
yeah.
while, and at some point, you oh, wow, that is nice. Mm.
Yeah.
It's nice, you know, that you can talk about it and just have someone present with you, and it's just yeah, it's something, you know, at some point that we'll all face variations of this. You know, so, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
I
interrupt
think
for one moment,
it's,
but I just want to. Some people have difficulty understanding you, Isaac. There's a little bit of like a thing on the line. I'm not sure if you. Maybe it's just a connection that is not.
Okay. If I, if I, yeah, when you speak, you sound like you're underwater. So I'm not sure where the difficulty is, but I'll try to talk a little louder. Does that help for the people that were having difficulty? Could you let Ava know? You can hear okay, Satyam.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Loud and
Anybody
clear.
else having difficulty? Can you, I'll just put it on gallery view for a moment. Can you just, can other people hear?
Isaac, what I notice is that I can hear you, but also the screen is moving quite a lot. So it's not stable in looking at you. So it's a bit wavery.
Okay, I don't know what I can do about it. It's, anyway. I don't have anything else going on. I could close. One second. Something. Yeah. I'm not sure if I close this part. I'm going to just try and close down Chrome. I'm not sure if that'll cut me off from Zoom. If it does, I'll be a second and two until I can get, because I have a lot of tabs open. Maybe that's.
Oh yeah, that could be.
It might make me lose the Zoom connection because I'm on Chrome with it. So just let's see what happens. Not fitting in here. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it is. And I'm also going to close and see if that makes a difference. So now I'm back to Zoom, and tell me, is that a little bit better?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Correct.
Okay, Satyam, let me get you on my screen again. Okay. Cool. So just resting here now. And just feeling nothing to solve. We've just been speaking. We haven't tried to change anything. We're just exploring to see what's the same, what's different. Maybe you notice something, maybe you don't. Is there more contraction, less contraction, or about the same? What do you notice, if anything? Can you hear me, Satya?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, yeah, absolutely good. Clear. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So at this moment, just right now, we don't know what will happen in the future, but in this moment, is there fear?
You're talking generally, Isaac, right? To everyone, right?
Not to you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just at this moment, is there fear? Or is it peace? Or
There is
what is here?
much space and very.
There's space. How beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just enjoying that. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow, when there's a tuning into, when the system relaxes and there's a tuning, there's just an outpour of tears and laughter. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And not only now, it's just through your videos, because you can feel those vibrations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So in a way, your one way of speaking is every time something comes on the screen, and there's the capacity to simply be present with it, gently, without trying to change it or fix it. The system learns and starts to develop the capacity to be with different sensations, different information without taking a ride. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Just like we learn to ride a bicycle, or we learn to walk, or we learn to talk.
Yeah.
So the system is learning. And the beautiful thing about learning, like when a baby learns to walk, if it falls over, we don't say it made a mistake. We just go, it's part of the learning process. It doesn't matter how many times fear arises. Every time it arises, and you just gently explore it, there's a learning that's happening. The system is developing a deeper capacity just to be with those sensations if they should ever arise.
Yeah. It's like, I'm really, it's a whole new world has opened for me after that scene which happened in Muji's presence. I'm kind of, my whole system was like, it went into a kind of a washing machine. And I'm feeling stuff from my grandfather, and I have fucking no idea what I'm feeling in this body, and it's really learning, as you say.
Yeah. You see, that's part of the thing. It's like in that quietening, you could say, everything comes up.
Yeah.
Popchi described it as like, when a house is on fire, all the rats that have been hiding in the walls run out and you see them. So once you catch fire, that's just part of the process. That's just what happens.
Yeah. I tell you, this, I mean, say, what did I do to have this love affair with this? That it's even, I can't even stop it,
No, you can't. Yeah.
And I'm grateful for you, Isaac, all these years, so just to, though we don't see physically, but, vibrationally, there's always that gratefulness.
Of
You know,
course,
again,
isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. So, going back to the gallery view, be present with everybody again.
Isaac, is it possible to complete our meeting? That we
Yeah.
have a few moments.
I don't know if it ever gets complete. If we can
No,
spend a
but
little more time.
for now, eh? Just for now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yummy.
Quiet. You too.
Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you. Is the video better now for everybody? Okay. Well, I learned something. Turn off my browsers.
Hey, Isaac.
Larissa. Greetings. That's great.
Hello, Isaac.
Yes. Someone spoke?
Yeah, me.
Who's hi.
Okay, Isaac.
Larissa, it's okay if I...
It's okay, it's fine. I'm overflowing. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, sorry, I
Hi,
missed it. Hello. I would like to share a topic that has been unbalancing my system for a couple of days already.
Welcome.
Sorry?
Welcome. Welcome.
And it's very hard not to identify with it. I'm flying in and out of it, and most of the time I'm just sucked into it. It's about my motherhood, being a mother. I have this strong sensation that I cannot be a good mother without what would be the word? It's like I cannot take care of my son well and take care of myself well in the same time, in the same space, in the same space-time reality. And I'm on the edge of kind of letting it go more, in the sense of seeing him less and kind of not walking off, but just really taking care of my own happiness. Somehow I'm stuck where he is, living with his father in this area where I just cannot adopt. I tried for 2 years and I cannot. I'm kind of having this illusion that if I choose between my own well-being and his well-being, and it's hard.
That's the way it looks. Huh?
Yeah. Feels and looks. I've been trying for 2 years and I just cannot adapt in this region. I'm very unhappy here. Maybe not even in this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
just taking a moment.
Sorry?
Just taking a moment. Just taking a moment to let it be like it is, without wanting it to be different. Just noticing here and now. Just here. Somehow there's, like there's the sensations of this moment. And then this, you could say, the interpretation of the sensation. So in this moment, we're just meeting here in cyberspace. In this moment, we just, we don't know. The next moment brings, but somehow there's the attention wants to go to what looks like a problem.
Yeah.
And try and solve it.
Yeah.
Just to notice that. It's okay. That's what the attention does. It does that. I think we all know that movement.
Cool.
And then, when life looks through that perspective, it seems like we have to make a decision, and there's all these, like it's not easy, and it's like, but it's just this moment here, right now. Right here, right now. Don't have to decide anything, don't have to do anything. Just here. For one moment, just one moment. Then we can come back to the problem afterwards, okay? But for one moment, we're just here. Nothing to solve, nothing to fix. No one to fix it. Nothing, just here. Emotions happening, whatever's happening can happen. It's just life doing its dance, yeah? And be present to it, whatever it is. In one way of speaking it, it's taking a moment to resource, to let your system calm down. Because when it's not calm, when any nervous system is not calm, we can't see clearly. It's just like that for everybody. We're taking a moment here, just a little mini holiday, a micro a micro holiday. Just allowing the system. And it takes a few moments, because when the system has been activated, whole bunch of chemicals get released in the bottom. So just giving it time, letting the system do its dance, just noticing and present. Just, if it's possible, feeling how our systems are meeting each other. Maybe it's enjoyable, maybe it's a pain in the ass, who knows? just, yeah. Yeah. You know what I know? There's no right way to parent or wrong way to parent. Clearly, there's love there. Something's going on that produces a sense of pressure and a sense of stuckness and stuff. So opportunity just to look and see what's going on there. Like two pulls, a pull to be there with them and also a pull to be somewhere else or do something else. How old is your child? Is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
A boy. How old?
9.
9. Okay.
There is this kind of concept in my mind. It's a boy, so he should be with his father as well. I cannot just take him away.
Yeah, you can see. So that's an idea. He enjoys his dad?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's lucky, yeah.
He enjoys both of us, and he really expresses that he wants both of us in his life.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice that he likes likes it.
Still?
Yeah. You know, somehow for me, it's like I found myself traveling a lot. So, kind of a lot of times I was away from the kids. You know, sometimes when I was leaving, they would be crying, "Daddy, don't go, don't go!" Oh, it's heartbreaking. No, I'm going. See you when I get back. You know, that was just the journey. That's what life kind of is. Life is doing its dance.
This is fear in me to damage him by my behavior, kind of to damage his psyche, him feeling unwanted or unloved. Or it's more about him. Damage it. It's not. It doesn't seem to be about myself, but about the fear of damaging him and following my own path.
Yeah. Well, you can see that. Just honoring that. You know, like, then you really know that's true, that you would damage him. Even if he missed you, how would you know that damaged him?
Oh.
Maybe that could be the very best thing for him. You don't know. You know?
I don't know.
But somehow that thought plays, and you know, it's, at the moment it has a very special place on your altar, and you kind of.
It has a big place. It takes all the place for the moment. It's the only thought of my altar for the moment, almost.
Yeah. Even if you go, you can always come back. I mean, there's nothing written in stone. My story. I was one of my marriages. I had two young boys, and when this divorce happened, and the mom moved away with the boys, and made it quite difficult to have contact. But I, really wanted to have contact, and I went through thinking, "Oh man, she's really, gonna. This is gonna damage the boys. This whole play that was happening." But when I look now, they're beautiful beings. They don't. Somehow life took care, and I have a very sweet connection with them. But for a while there, I suffered with that idea. It was a beautiful idea to suffer with.
That somehow resonates, like including the potential of suffering. It's not as something negative, just as a...
Yeah, I mean, clearly, look, there's love. And my sense that love, he feels, and something else is knocking, something else is pulling you somehow, and it's causing a tear. Yeah, okay. I shouldn't feel that way, yet I do, like, backwards and forwards. So just feeling that conflict for a moment. Just, I want to go, but I shouldn't. It's wrong. I'm wrong. I'm bad. Just,
And betray him.
and betray him.
I should be strong and stay and be able to carry all this.
So just looking at these different thought forms that like to knock on your door. What a perfect situation for all these things to come up, eh? Who would have known there were all these thought forms that seem to be important, waiting for a chance to show themselves? If something's relaxing a little bit, yeah?
Yes.
Without doing anything, just kind of hanging out, speaking these different thoughts out and seeing them for what they are, thoughts. And just suddenly he feels the love, and he also feels the conflict. Yeah? And then as you explore this conflict, he's actually getting information of how to, how to surf conflict when conflict arises. It's pretty cool. I mean, where's he going to learn that from other than just watching how your system deals with when conflict arises?
You can feel more space around it now, in it and
around. Yeah, it's an opportunity, He's learning and you learn.
trusting.
Yeah, it's fun. Where do you feel pulled to?
Sorry?
Just where do you feel pulled to go? Do you it's just pulled to be go away, or you have a pull in some direction?
Away.
Just away, anywhere away from there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Not anywhere, but many places.
Yeah. And who knows what that's good for?
It's very strong feeling.
Yeah, and good to honor it. Just okay. Just be present to it. It's okay. Came by itself.
I can feel the space now more around it, but the movement's so fast, like stuck again.
Yeah.
Fraction of a second, and I'm kind of contracted again.
And just watching carefully. All that happens is different thoughts come across the screen. We're here right now, and the thought comes of wanting to be elsewhere. And no thought comes like I shouldn't. And these two thoughts are, which thought should you listen to? Actually, don't listen to any of them. Silence will show you what's next, and you don't have to follow.
Who's gonna show what's next?
It's silence, just keeping quiet, and you'll find yourself packing your bags or not, or you'll find yourself inviting your son over for a meal or to sleep over or whatever. You'll see. It's day by day, moment by moment. Maybe you take a holiday for a while, go someplace else, come back. Who knows? Can't make a mistake. I mean, the worst thing that can happen, the very worst thing that can happen is a thought. That's the worst thing that can happen. Isn't it? Oh, that's the way it seems here.
Yeah. The thought that just came a second before you said it was like, or this kind of awareness that there is this thought pattern of that I'm not allowed to follow my highest joy, that I have to take responsibility.
Yeah, just different thoughts again. Yeah, just thoughts. Thoughts appearing.
There's a new one on
thoughts appearing in infinite space. And they have no power unless something kind of follows them or runs with them. Otherwise, they just come and they go.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very welcome. This is life, yeah? And the some of you watching here, somehow it seemed serious for a moment or two.
Not that long if you keep making jokes. Thank you, Isaac.
No, so welcome again. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Isaac.
Yeah, Otto.
Hello.
Greetings.
Just want to meet for a moment.
I love it.
You.
Exquisite.
Hello, Isaac.
Yeah.
Just want to hang out with you.
So lovely. Thank you.
There is this thing you said a few minutes ago about the worst thing that can happen is a thought. But what about pain?
Yeah, it's pain. You know, if pain comes and there's no thought about it, it's not a big deal. If pain happens and there's a thought of unwanted, then it's terrible.
Yes, that's true, yes. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's true, but I still have this idea about feelings and pain that it's worse than the thought.
Oh, you know, the beautiful thing is that no matter what, you know, there can be a belief or a thought, but then we go to sleep and we let go of everything.
Yeah.
So how long can we hold on to a thought? You can't really hold on for very long. You can't hold on to anything. No experience, nothing.
No.
Everything comes and goes. Yeah?
Mm. So there's
it's just, you know, our attention either gets hooked into it and, you know,
yes, that's true.
Focused on it or not. You know, it's like.
Yeah. So where is the attention?
Where is the attention?
It's on space.
Is it resting as awareness, or is it resting as a problem to solve? Or
so is it resting as awareness? Yeah.
you know, one way to speak is like the habit for most expressions of life called people is to focus on the content of awareness rather than the balance of between awareness and then just this ever-changing information that we don't even know, we can't describe it, we can't say what it is, but there's a way of kind of being with it that's like lovemaking, like being caressed by totality. And there's a way of being with it where there's a wanting a different experience or trying to solve a problem. just subtle shifts of focus, and man, the world seems so different, and we seem so different. When really nothing changes, the field of information is just so infinite and varied, and awareness, you can't say what it is, and all that changes is just a habit of attention, really.
Thank you.
So beautiful, just wow. Yeah.
Isaac?
Eva.
I'm not sure how my sound is because the connection here is like really, really tricky.
It's better now than it was, so I can hear you.
But I don't necessarily need to speak. I just wanted to just yeah.
How beautiful. You know, it's so beautiful just to rest together and just let our systems come into sync. That's all. It's just like it's exquisite. When we just rest together like this, what do you notice happening in your system? Just without any effort, just by resting together, just you sense. What do you sense? Curious.
yeah, just all these movements, like just like the just all these just in it feels like just a big deep resting of just yeah, I can't even describe it because it's so full. So it's and then sometimes thoughts come like, oh, if I'm in Western Australia, maybe I can fly over to Byron and then I can come and see you both there, or like that, or
Yeah.
or maybe like then, oh, maybe he's bored, maybe I should say something now, or and then just feeling a lot of love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's just a love bath, you know. Certain thoughts come and go, but none of them are really worth anything. It's like, it's a love bath, that's all.
Exactly, and it's so nice because I think in this system there's also like always this kind of fear of meeting fully and or of because of all kinds of ideas, and I can now see that more, which makes then it's so much more pleasant to just really enjoy.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. 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 Just an opportunity to rest and let the thoughts that have been playing or the subtle contractions that have been playing show themselves without needing to do anything about it. Just once they get seen, that's all. And love takes care. Yeah? Love takes care of all of it. Just resting.
And that is because that space is there. I can really feel that everything is just so much. It's so enjoyable. It's just so nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could sit like this forever.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do. We've been sitting like this together for years. It's beautiful.
And it's so fascinating also because it's like, yeah, because it's never ending. Yeah, it's so cool. I like it. Like it, you know what I mean? Like it's doing nothing is so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, full.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Gita.
I feel there's quite some excitement in the system happening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
And trying to give it space, but it's like,
Yeah, just excitement is happening. How sweet it's noticed. Don't have to do anything about it. The space is already there. It's appearing in space. I mean, in truth, there's not even a you to give it space. It's just the excitement is appearing in space already, yeah? As is the sense of you that wants to give it space. All appearing in space. Yeah?
ah, it's like deep longing in my heart. Like my heart is
And that energy of longing is such a sweet energy when it's really allowed. Yeah? Longing pure, just the pure longing. Oh, so sweet.
it feels like it's both love, but it's also with a taste of pain.
Yeah, it's only where it becomes painful when we imagine what we're longing for. But the longing pure, just the longing by itself, is delicious.
Ah. Hmm. Oh, thank you, Isaac.
So sweet.
Mm. Mm.
Hello.
Rebecca.
Hello. I'm a little nervous.
It's okay.
when I'm alone or when I'm not saying anything, everything is fine. And when I get in contact with other people, it's different.
Yeah, so let's just play for a second, yeah? You know, I think for almost everybody, being social is not easy. It's, you know, it's like, but just in this moment here, just resting together, how is it? How do you sense that we're meeting?
Now, in this moment.
In this moment, just simple, honest, how is it?
Fine.
Fine, simple, yeah. So the past is gone and the future is not here, so we don't know. All we know is just here, there's a resting and there's allowing these nervous systems to kind of download each other in a way, you know, just meet and don't have to be any special way, everything is welcome. Like what you call me is perceived through the senses, so you really experience me in awareness. But you know what I call you, if there's such a thing, is again the information appearing already in who I am. It's like there's no distance. And when we meet like this, then you know, there's like the nervous systems can kind of, when they feel safe, they just kind of explore and just, oh wow, how deep can we meet? How beautifully can we meet? The way I meet you feels gentle and honoring.
I didn't understand.
The way I meet you feels gentle and honoring. I'm just,
yeah.
How beautiful. You feel safe in this meeting. Couldn't be better, huh?
But as I was listening, everything is so, I'm just like in a whole space, in a space where everything is good. And then I was thinking about saying something, and it's like I'm falling out of this space.
Yeah, well, you know, and it is this funny thing, you know, it's like, you know, we all had this experience at school where, you know, like when you pull attention to yourself in some ways, then, you know, but it's just, wow, I'd like to have a few moments to rest together. How beautiful an invitation is that? For me, it's exquisite.
But I can also not say anything and just be in my own.
Exactly. You can't make a mistake, you know. And the beauty of that when the urge comes to speak and it's allowed, then we just get to watch the ripples or whatever happens within that movement. You just be present to it. Because that's how life is, you know, you're cruising and you're enjoying yourself, and then you meet someone and maybe there's an interest to say hello or to have a cup of tea or to cuddle or whatever it is, and then there's that movement, and wow, okay, maybe they say no, maybe they say yes, you know, you never know. And so it's useful to be able to just explore and play and feel, okay, that movement comes, and something feels safe enough to let it express, or it doesn't. When we meet like this, do you sense any boundaries between us, or?
And no boundaries.
Yeah, yeah, how beautiful. Yeah. Rare. Life meets itself like that.
But what about the other part of life?
We don't know because it's not here, it's not here right now. You know, it's like that. Now the attention goes to the future, and then it's like, wow, yeah, we don't know. But right now, there's a learning, you could say, that the system has the capacity to be present in a very authentic and genuine, beautiful way. It's exquisite. It's just beautiful. So it's, you know, while we're resting like this, it's the system is actually learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It knows it can do it now. Yeah? It's had the experience. Tell you, many people go from birth to death and never have an experience of meeting with no boundaries. Never. Not once. The system is constantly looking through the filter of separation. So it's a big gift.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It's exquisite.
Isaac, can you hear me, Isaac?
I hear you.
Okay. I just want to know from what you have experienced, like when we start opening up to this, whatever this natural what we are, and you start to sense like they're kind of psychic imprints from your dad and the one from your mom, and you can really so feel them, like they're so near, and then the habit is to not want them because I don't want anyone from outside to be in my system, and the habit patterns. And I know that there are certain habit patterns, uh, to say they are mine, it's difficult, but they are coming from my parental side, and they are not necessarily serving me in a nice way.
Yes, so the thing is this, is like, ultimately everything is already appearing in awareness. Where the difficulty rises when we think we're a container, somehow there's a container within awareness that's me. But everything is already in awareness, and it's the resistance that gives it energy. So, and that resistance is, you could say it's not wanting, but a lot of times it's even quicker than that. It's just something in us tightens. We don't do it even. So in the noticing of that and seeing that tightening isn't anything that we're doing or anything like that, just noticing and then inquiring, is that tightening useful or necessary? What does it produce? It produces a sense of separation, produces a sense of me and my space and not wanting, and but ultimately it's just an automatic little movement that, and like this, we don't even know where that movement comes from. But in a sense, our nature is this unconditional level, unconditional space. It's awareness of that, in which everything is already appearing. And we don't have to do anything for that because that's how it is already. And everything that you try and do for it makes it seem like like it's not like that.
It's like the level of, as you said, it's like learning to walk again. It's the level of subtleness kind of sharpens more and more. I noticed that for so many years I was living from here, but actually I was always here, and now I'm more here. But then this psychic imprints from dad, mom, then you suddenly go here.
And actually all that moves, awareness doesn't move, it's just here.
Yeah.
All that moves is just a movement of attention. Ultimately, some movement happens, and then it feels like there's a me.
Yes. And the one trying to get.
Yeah, and nobody does it. But then it looks like there's someone here that can do something about it. That is a joke.
Yeah, I see what you. Yeah. And the one trying to get rid of is also a part of the whole package deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a journey.
What a joke. Yeah. I mean, it's really going nowhere because who we are, we already are. You can't be more you.
Yeah, not much choice in that one.
Yeah. And what we are, always here, just here.
And it's basically absolutely no effort in this. So zero effort. It's such, but it's the habit is to kind of go in the hamster wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Start the.
Funny habit.
Oh dear. Oh, thank you, Isaac.
Hear me?
Dara.
Yeah, I already spoke, but I thought, is my sound good?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, yeah, I already spoke like 5 minutes before or something. I was like, maybe no one hears me. Hi. Someone's calling me.
Hello.
God.
You know, what an opportunity to let love have us. Huh?
Yeah. So nice to hang out together. And to include all the movement.
Life.
Yeah. I feel this subtle movement, which I'm familiar with. It's like it tries to hold on to, I don't know, something. It's funny. And then there's a seeing like there's no way. Can you hold on to anything? It's a habit.
Yeah.
Kind of sweet.
And the resting itself is just delicious, you know. It's just love meeting itself and kissing itself everywhere, you know. Just all the little funny movements and all the sweet. It's just sweetness.
I feel a lot of compassion for that, for I don't know for what, for all the movements and all that.
It's fun to recognize that nobody's doing those movements, they just happen. They don't mean anything about who we are. They're just old information.
Yeah, it's profound. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything about who we are.
And love just flows, yeah, but it's not, you know, it's like the habit is to think in terms of duality, like I love you, but really there's just love flow.
Yeah.
There's just love flowing and caressing itself. And
it's a good reminder that it's always there. It reminds me now in this moment. Something
always. Yeah. I mean, that's what's so amazing. It is always here. We just somehow it's not noticed. That's all. The attention goes elsewhere.
And then life reminds itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. A nice bird. Is that an
I think
Australian bird?
that was a gecko.
Oh. That's nice.
It's nighttime now. Most of the birds are sleeping here. But the geckos love it because there's light inside the room, so all these moths come and sit on the window because they're attracted and the geckos have a feast.
Yes, their hangout, their little gathering.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, we have these green frogs that can walk on the glass, and they also love it because they get a lot of moths and yeah.
Do they walk on the glass of the window?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone else wants to speak for a moment.
Okay.
Susanna wanted to speak, so I'm not sure. Are you there? I cannot mute you now. Susanna?
If I can unmute you, just yeah. I don't hear you, but I see you. Somehow your mic isn't unmuted. I don't know how to unmute it. Oh, wait. No? I can't. I think maybe Ava can.
Yeah, I'm trying.
If you move your mouse, maybe you...
Usually it works, but somehow with your mic, Susanna, it doesn't work. I'm trying to press unmute, but it doesn't allow to unmute. It's really weird. Now. Yeah.
Oh, it seems like it. Try now. No? No, it's like a silent movie.
Yeah.
Hi. We have to talk in sign language. You don't need language. You're talking to feel each other. That's so beautiful. Mm-hmm. Mm. Thank you. Okay, beloveds. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you so much.
Love and peace to you all.
Thank
Thank you.